So it happened, Mbappe finally made his choice, but I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning of this saga. Here is 14-year-old Kylian Mbappe in his bedroom. My guy had the K-pop stan room, but instead of pictures of engineered human beings overworked to pure exhaustion, it was Real Madrid and Cristiano Ronaldo. At that same age, Mbappe attended training at Valdebebas, Real's training complex. A year later, he told France Football his dream was to return to Real Madrid via the front door one day, having proved to them that he was a top player. The funny thing is, Mbappe would have joined Real Madrid's youth academy had Zinedine Zidane not become manager and stayed as assistant. Fast forward to the 2016-17 season. The freshman, with his 15 goals in Liga, helped Monaco win the title. His 6 goals in the Champions League that same year helped them reach the semis. In the following season, most people expected Mbappe to move to his dream club, and he came close. Initially, Real Madrid tried to set up a deal between Manchester United and Gareth Bale. This would ensure Mbappe extended playing time as the World Cup was the very next year. But Bale refused. He wanted to stay for at least one more season. Then there was the Cristiano Ronaldo ego worries. When Gareth Bale was signed in 2013, his fee was more expensive than that of Ronaldo's back in 2009. Because Ronaldo wasn't so happy about the fee breaking his world record transfer, Madrid lied to the public and said Bale's fee was lower than Ronaldo's. Although Ronaldo no longer held the world transfer record, there were still worries from Real Madrid that Ronaldo wouldn't be too happy about someone coming into the club for 180 million. On top of that, Madrid were also worried about the 18-year-old being paid nearly the same wages as Ronaldo. Zidane also played a part in Real stepping away from bidding. Mbappe was a generational talent, no doubt, but he only had 32 senior starts. And at the price of 180 million, that is a bit risky. Now, funnily enough, going back to the Ronaldo ordeal, he would leave Real Madrid the very next season. But as we all know, this would not be the end of Madrid's mission Mbappe. It was only the beginning, really. Into the 2019-20 offseason, Mbappe, now 20 years old, scored 33 league goals and assisted 17 in 29 games. But the attention during the offseason, however, was more on his teammate Neymar. Rumors had it that Neymar told PSG he wanted to leave, and immediately he was linked with a move back to Barcelona. But there were also rumors about the Brazilian going to their rivals, Real Madrid. However, Madrid was more focused on Mbappe, with President Florentino Perez waiting for the next summer to sign him. The fee would be cheaper as well, as Mbappe's contract lasted until 2022. So no move was made for Neymar, who had a 200 million price tag put on him, otherwise any chance of signing Mbappe would be much more difficult. Although, Madrid did sign Eden Hazard, and during his presentation, fans in the stadium made it very clear they wanted Mbappe.
What's wrong with you?
In summer 2020, Dark Lord Perez's Mbappe plans were foiled by the COVID-19 pandemic and Madrid stadium renovations. A few days later, Mbappe himself said he was staying at PSG for at least one more year. The funniest thing to come out of this were rumors of cash-strapped Real Madrid saving up 300 million to buy Mbappe. Unlike 2020, the very next year was much more eventful for the Mbappe saga. First was a teaser made during an interview about the Super League.
Tranquilo.
And then a few months later, near deadline day, news comes out about Mbappe ignoring multiple contract renewal offers, adding that if he does stay, he will leave as a free agent in 2022. That followed with the storm of Madrid bids. 160 million, rejected. 170 plus add-ons, rejected. All while this chaos was happening, El Chiringuito was becoming more and more hilarious by the day. And for some reason, the brother of the Emir of Qatar was throwing shade. Don't you just love this sport? Real then threw their final bid of 200 million. Which PSG just flat out ignored. It was pretty clear that PSG did not care about money. They didn't need it. So no matter what, Mbappe would be staying at the club for at least one more season. In the end, Real Madrid stepped away and bought another French ultra talent in Eduardo Camavinga. Now 2022 was when things got even more chaotic. First, it started with PSG in January confident that they could extend Mbappe's contract. But words, they mean nothing to Florentino. The president was highly convinced he would sign Mbappe for free in the summer. I mean, he's been convinced Mbappe would be staying a la Madrid in a packed stadium for 3 years now. And how fitting for the Champions League to host the first ever Mbappe derby. But throughout the rest of the season, yeah, I'm saying the rest of the season, not even off season, this was all happening while both clubs were still playing games. But rumors were going back and forth. Mbappe is staying, Mbappe is leaving, Mbappe is 100% staying. For Real Madrid, Florentino was doing all he could to convince Mbappe to join Los Blancos. And the stakes were even higher for PSG, because if Mbappe decided to leave, their credibility would plummet. So Paris Saint Germain, in absolute desperation, used all means to make sure this man stayed. We had the President of France and the Emir of Qatar twerking for this 23-year-old. Throughout the month of May, many offers were set on the table for Kylian Mbappe to decide. He agreed on terms with Real Madrid and PSG, and then announced he would make a decision on May 21st. This man really pulled a LeBron. It looked like Mbappe was going to join Real Madrid, especially with him always mentioning the Spanish club in a positive light. I mean, this is his dream club. This is the best opportunity for him to join. But in a twist that Saturday, Mbappe cucked the Spanish club and chose Paris Saint Germain.
Soy bobo. Soy tonto. Yo creo en la palabra de la gente.
Kylian signs a 3-year contract extension with the Parisians, making him the highest paid player in the world. He will be making 57 million net per season. That is more than half of what Real Madrid offered him. Add in all the various bonuses and he could make up to 300 million in 3 years. This man is getting paid. But it doesn't exactly end there. PSG have given a 23-year-old man the LeBron treatment. He has a say in the sporting director, manager, and even players.
God Emperor, I believe we should extend Leandro Paredes' contract.
He also gets to choose the PSG chefs. So from now on, God Emperor Mbappe will be only served KFC limited edition Krispy Kreme chicken sandwiches. Now we just talked about quite a ton of money, but in Mbappe's words, he said it's not about the money, it's about the project. Although, he is still being paid significantly more than what he would have been paid if he joined Real Madrid. But said project has already come into effect. Sporting director Leonardo has been sent packing, and in replacement, Mbappe has told PSG to appoint Luis Campos. He was formerly sporting director at Lille and also Monaco when Mbappe was there. Maurizio Pochettino is likely to be sacked as well. A great thing for PSG supporters and a travesty for people who prey on this club's downfall. Managerial options include, but are not limited to, Antonio Conte and of course Zinedine Zidane. In general though, it feels like PSG are going in the right direction. Along with these changes, there's a plan to fire many staff who have used the club for their own benefit. Now what about transfers this summer? Mbappe reportedly wants Ousmane Dembele to join the club. And that's not even the biggest shocker. He apparently wants Neymar to be sold. Now take those rumors with a grain of salt, nothing is confirmed. But what about on the other side of things? How do Real feel? How does the La Liga president feel? Javier Tebas, the La Liga president, called the new contract an insult to football and said the PSG president is as dangerous as the Super League. Oh, and also, remember that little brotherhood that Mbappe and Benzema had during the Euros of last year? I think it's dead. He recently posted this picture of Tupac, and let me give you some context. Who you see behind Tupac is the eventual betrayer of Tupac. So yeah, maybe the World Cup curse is still alive and well then. But when you think of it, Real Madrid have made a massive mistake here. They have practically pretended for the last 3 years that Mbappe is a Real Madrid player. So much to the point that I feel like they just forgot about all the other targets. There was at one point when Mbappe and Haaland were both linked with Real Madrid, and then all of a sudden, Haaland was just thrown to the side. But now that Haaland's at Man City and Mbappe staying at PSG, Real have kind of f***ed themselves here. But don't you worry, Real Madrid have only just gotten started. But it is very comical that Real Madrid could have had Mbappe all the way back in 2017. Even before then, but realistically 2017. But for PSG, this is a huge victory for the club. As I said before, keeping Mbappe at the club has been essential to making sure PSG's credibility doesn't plummet. But of course, a massive shout out to all the patrons, including Andre Root, Janos Balas, Milioe009, Alex Rod, Olibium, Antonio, Daniel Ortiz, Darkwolf476, Edgar AS, Ethan Scaraccio, Francisco Hernandez, Jason TD, Jax206, Joseph Bonfante, Kev FM, Nguyen Din Min Tang, The Motor Drive, Tomicus, Victor, Ariel Floor, Declan Malloy, Emmett Shea, Lewis, MX Weeb, Piano, President Pulisic, Unbroken Persona, Alberto Azamar, Andres Was Never Here, Arnolfo Martinez Jr., Big Bird, Billy Jack Jory, Cash Getty, Chris Damasceno, Chris Irankunda, DG September, Dios, Exo, FIFA America, Harvey Fenwick, James Huggett, Jose Moreta, Ken Ramirez, Luis Tosano, Mark Morcos, Mohamed Albokhale, Nicholas Baptista, Nickel Chips, Tyler Avon, and Zach. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you want, follow my Instagram if you like, follow my TikTok, trying to get to 9,000 there, and of course, you can follow my inactive Twitch. But until then, I'll see you guys.